Yeah, there you go. They let the Wisp through.
I mean, there's a lot of really strong heroes right now that feel like auto wins, right? You got like Wisp, Alchemist feels too good, Tiny's extremely good, maybe not first round ban, Enchantress is super good, so you gotta let somebody through, right?
Even Chen for good Chen teams.
Yeah, that's true.
But Wisp of all heroes.
Yeah.
Like this is the one, you know, people trying to theory craft, what do we ban against OG? You know, Wisp is a must, you think about, but...
Do you feel like do you feel like any teams have really given countering IO a good try though? It kind of feels like they draft lineups, but they're not like, okay, we got to beat the IO. I don't necessarily know what it is, but there's got to be something you can do, right? There's an example, Chen. You can take over the neutral creep that he's tied to.
Yep.
It's going to force him to tether to somebody that's slower. It's going to leave him defenseless in the early game potentially if you gank him. That's one option.
It's true.
It used to be like the good heroes were heroes that were good against like two, right? Like Grimstroke and Ember, these heroes that have like a double spell built in. But now this Wisp doesn't need another hero. He gets Ags and a creep, and there's no other heroes for you to link to, and he's just dealing, you know, hundreds of magic damage per second.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I'm not surprised to see the Tide Hunter as well picked up by Liquid. Every game where it's available, they tend to go for it. Earlier in the tournament, it was a second phase for them. Now, you know, main stage, you want to make sure you've got that AoE lockdown that your draft's going to need. And one of the better ways to counter against a Wisp, although this is traditionally you only conceptualize Wisp as a 4 position, whereas now it's most likely to carry. You want to have team fight. You want to prevent the Wisp from being able to play other ends of the map so that you're always able to press your advantages 5.
So Secret, I think they played Omni in their first series today. They did Omni Bristle as their 2 cores. I think Omni Wisp is kind of a similar idea. You have this really tanky strength core, and you make him tankier.
It's going to be a lot harder to kill him too, because status resistance is halved, so combo initiations against him is less likely to work.
And bursting this Wisp is really hard. Overcharge, you have so much damage reduction.
And if you try to get somebody else, IO's probably going to tether to that guy, give him overcharge, and then if the Omni heals the IO, they get extra heal. There's just a lot of cool combos with it. But what's a weakness, though?
It depends on how they finish the draft, really, because these 2 heroes are arguably the best at supporting in a lineup. And the cool thing about it is, we don't know what role either of these heroes are. It could be a traditional Wisp. It could be a carry Wisp. That could be a puppy Omni Knight. It could be a mid one Omni Knight. We actually have no idea. I honestly don't know. This is what Secret won the toss. They took first pick. I feel like at the start of the tournament, I leaned second pick favorite. But now with the onset of these heroes like Wisp, that it feels like ET, like Alchemist, you don't want to play against them under any circumstances. And Kuro's hopefully going to surprise us, because thus far I don't think anyone's figured out Wisp, at least at the main event stage.
Yeah, there's all the heroes that you can think about jumping in. I don't think deal enough damage, right? Like you can take an Ember or a Storm per se, right? They jump this Wisp, they're not going to kill him. And they're just going to kill whoever jumps this Wisp right now, which makes this hero so scary, especially with Omni Knight. He's so tanky. He goes, the build's been Helmet Dominator, Ags, Heart. And he has like 3k HP. He's going to have a Heavenly Grace, you know, another 300 HP, 50% status resistance.
Well, one upside is that most of the IO games we've seen, they're also paired with Elder Titans. So not only gave them a good laning stage, because Elder Titan can become so fast with Astral Spirit, but also because he amplifies the spirit damage that's dealt. So maybe there's a laning option here. Could see that.
I like the Earth Spirit in theory, just because you provide like the most possible lockdown of any 4 position. And we've seen too many times now these carry Wisps living with 10, 20% HP, and boom, they tether away to a teammate at light speed, and they survive. When you have an Omni Knight as well, the more lockdown and silence you have, the better, because you're going to be playing again. If you only have like a Ravage to play around, right? Then all of a sudden this Omni Knight, if he can just juke the Ravage and then grace somebody, one of his cores, they get a BKB off, suddenly you're winning this fight because there's no more lockdown remaining. This allows you to at least initiate and perhaps be able to 100-0 a core while CCing one of these incredibly versatile support heroes, which again could be a core for all we know.
So that's most likely the 5, right? That's probably a Puppy Witch Doctor, I think.
Yeah, most likely. Very effective against Tide. You can't dispel off Maledict, and then he also transitions to killing solo cores later on.
Yeah, I love the Lesh pick. I mean, you know me, this is my favorite hero in Dota. I think the Disco Pony is perfect here. You love playing it against Wisp because you just get in and you do tons of AoE damage. Wisp naturally is going to be positioned around other allied heroes. Leshrac does arguably the most AoE possible in Dota 2. And in addition, it's one of 2 heroes Secret's played more than 10 times this year that I assume do some kind of physical damage. Otherwise, like, is really Wisp OD as your 1 and 2? That's very ambitious.
Like, the Wisp can turn into, like, physical at once 25, but before 25, you're mostly about balls. So your Ags tethering to a core with your Heart, so he can hit high ground, but what core do you tether?
Yeah, and look at Liquid's lineup. That that's not a draft that's looking to go to 45 minutes. They're going to be probably peaking in terms of like the lineup's gold efficiency usage around 20, and a Shaker off lane, mid, support.
Carry.
Yap Source hero, perhaps?
Mid1 played at mid the other day against the...
Yeah.
Miracle's also played a carry for Liquid. So Secret kind of taking, they're looking at other people's notebooks. They took the Wisp from OG. They could take the carry Earthshaker from Liquid.
This is their counter pusher, right? That's one thing that Secret's lineup is super missing, actually.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel like I'm leaning towards it's a Yaps or Shaker because they've been wanting to last people. Oh, jeez.
So
at the last major, I think Liquid picked this versus LGD, the Meepo versus OD matchup. And the matchup, I think, was hard for the OD, but the Meepo crushed him after 15 minutes.
Yep.
He can Astro 1, and then he just goes down.
Liquid have won every game in this lower bracket with these weird last picks. This is another one, and it's a weak comfort pick. Like, I love this draft. Secret's got an uphill battle.
Hero-wise, we got that core IO potentially in the hands of Secret, undefeated here in the main event, but Liquid counter with Meepo. We 26 career wins on Meepo, most in Pro Dota 2 all time. We got one hell of a match coming up to you.
He's trying to drive them back, but indeed they will have to just give up that mid lane of Rax.
Zai gets the deny at least, some small solace.
Liquid? Oh, okay. I like this. They want to test it themselves, I think.
All right.
How good is this thing? What can Nisha really do here? They don't have Ravage. They do have the pipe, though, on mind control. And I believe, as you saw earlier in the IO game, it was about 90% of the damage from Nisha was magical.
Earthshaker, because he's got that instant initiation. And now, speaking of which, Yapsor back behind. He can jump in if he wants to. Thinking about it, Fisher to open up. GH to Echo Slam. Is it quite going to be enough? They have the Ravage to try and turn it. Weehaw so freaking low, but not looking quite low enough. They do manage to kill him off, but they lose the Earthshaker and the IO. Mid-1 falling low. The Helm Stomp, it connects as well, as they all are getting torn apart. Nisha ended up buying back into this fight, and Miracle trying to take him down. Is it going to be quite enough? Yule Scepter lifts up at the very last second to keep Miracle alive. Puppey wanting to take down the mid from Liquid, and he does die to the Maledict. 3 gone. Zai, the last one left alive, but the Bro desperately trying to hold on. He does manage to get the walk away again, but the root's there. Turn around the BKB. He's actually living through this one. Mid-1, can he do it? The right click's coming through. It's all too much damage. And Weehaw can just walk away again.
It is very cathartic to watch this IO strat be defeated by a Meepo with 30 HP regen. I'm not gonna lie. They just don't have the damage. If they don't have all of their tools available, there's no way they're gonna kill him. And so you just see this Meepo living with the Divine Favor, and I'm like, you know what? It's a little gross, but I can live with that. If it's versus the IO, because that has been the bread and butter of this strat, getting the IO to that ridiculous agonist and then buffing someone up to a degree where they're just unkillable.
Victory here.
Yeah.
Going to take down another set of racks.
Get your IO strat out of my game. OD, no buyback. Weehaw, everything.
Find it everywhere you want. An ultra kill for Weehaw, who continues to just run ransack through this game. They're going to give him the rampage. No, stolen away by Miracle. He has to take one for himself this time around. As Liquid do not look phased in the least bit. No buybacks on any of these heroes. This is only Nisha and Yapsor left to defend. Tier 4 towers being assaulted. Ladies and gentlemen, stick a fork in him, because at least for this game, Secret are looking done as GG is called. My God, that was dominant.
Team Liquid. I can tell you, there's nothing we want to do more, I'm sure, than play Meepo on this stage. Brought back here again from the Shanghai Major. Last time he was up here and competing, and finds himself another victory. Liquid remaining undefeated as they move throughout the lower bracket.
I mean, that's really one of the craziest stories ever. Could you imagine the run? You think back again to this team's TI7 run, and it was...
So what was really important is that if you're trying to beat the IO, what you need to do is make the game accelerate in a big way and prevent him from getting gold. So what ended up happening was, in this first team fight at the 7-minute mark, Kuro here on the Chen, ended up teleporting in. Lash is going to appear right here in a second, so keep an eye out for him. He pops in. He's now level 6 coming from the safe lane. He had a lot of golden experience that he got from being in a dual lane where he got to pressure the Omni. And after he got that rotation kill, he instantly starts pressuring the lane, which is really effective. And more importantly, he rotates around, Puppey TPs back in and gets killed instantly. So not only did he rotate into this lane, but he also set tempo by killing him and killing this tower immediately afterwards. That's a huge advantage because now they can move through the jungle. And with this jungle pressure, if you take a look over here, we ended up seeing a relocate coming from the IO. So what they're looking to do is trying to see which of these camps IO ends up coming back into, where the place that he ended up coming back to was over here. Miracle missed a crucial stun, but he instantly comes back from Fountain and he's already at like 40% health, which is going to decrease his farm speed. And he ends up dying in this, but it's still very good because if you look on the map, everybody else on Liquid is still farming. They're getting their gold and that's going to help them stay ahead of the IO. And now once he teleports back in, he's just running between the mid lane into the jungle to spot for the IO. They don't want to let him get any gold and he wants to keep putting Diabolic Edicts on this mid tower. So he keeps doing that and that's going to force secret rotations. At the end of this clip, the Omni Knight ends up having to teleport here and they use their glyph. So in the next rotation over, look how many heroes are here. It's Miracle and it's a support. And when this fight starts, Meepo TPs. They're doing this tower push and they kill the tower with just 2 heroes. It ends up going well for them. They kill the OD and now they're just in a rundown situation. So they end up staying ahead, killing all the outer towers, and that means that the IO just doesn't have a place on the map to farm. And that's why he wasn't able to snowball this game.
And the draft utilizes gold so efficiently. They're going high ground at 18 minutes. There's no Ags on the Wisp. They have a pipe, they have a mech. Meepo has 3 Wraith Brands and an E-Blade. It's about as if, like, as far as peaking at a certain timing, the entire Liquid draft is built to crush by 20 minutes, and that's exactly what they did.
You can also see by Miracle's playstyle, they understand the Wisp a little. A lot of teams are kind of using the Wisp on Dire a lot better than Radiant because of how the jungle works with Spirits. You can pull 2 large camps much easier. So since he's a Radiant, he's playing in the Dire jungle and stopping him from farming.
Yeah, well, that's why they won the game.